All right, so you hear this a lot from. I heard this a lot from older guys, especially. Older guys would tell me this all the time. They're like, Lloyd, all you got to do is just stop caring about women, and women will come to you. And this is a pretty tough thing to implement because it's like when somebody tells you stop thinking about elephants. Well, what did you like? Now I'm thinking about elephants because you just mentioned it. So I don't know why people keep saying this, but it's like true and it's not true. And I think it's the way people explain it, and they should explain it if they're actually giving you good advice. And that's you have to have a higher purpose. Focus. It's not that you're not caring about women; it's that you're caring about something more. Okay, there has to be something in your life that you care about more than just women, and this is really the way you want to interpret it, because a lot of guys, when they hear oh, just stop caring about women, then they just go in their room and play video games, and then they expect a woman to just like come in on a Saturday night while they're playing video games, knock on the door and be like, oh my god, are you playing League of Legends? It's not gonna happen. Although, how awesome would that be if that did? It's not an excuse to take action. You still need to be going out if you want to get women. But what they mean is that there has to be something that you're focused on, that you care about more. So these individual interactions that are happening to you, you don't care about them so much. You don't care if that girl texts you back. You're not as attached to the conversation. You don't need this girl to like you as much. It eliminates a lot of those bad things, or a lot of those bad tendencies that guys have when they're talking to women, or when they're interacting with them and stuff like that. So try and think of what your higher purpose is. Try and think of what you're passionate about. Try and think of what, like, when you die, like, what's the thing that you want to be known for? What's the thing that you want to look back on and look and smile and think like, man, like, that was really awesome that I did that. And if you don't have a passion, dude, I understand. Like, when I was younger, it was really, like, when I just got out of college, I was pretty disillusioned. I didn't like my job. I didn't like the career that I had set. I'd gotten hurt, so I couldn't play the sports that I wanted to play. So I was kind of at a loss. And really, dude, the only thing that I was doing was I was going after girls at that point, and I was trying to get better at doing that. So in that circumstance, for those guys, I'm going to give you 2 tips that are going to really, really help you out. So first thing, about finding your purpose, basically you want to find, like, the intersection of stuff that you like, stuff that you're good at, and stuff that you're making money from. So that's really the good thing. My buddy After School talks a little bit about this in one of his videos. Okay, so if you don't have a purpose and you're still trying to find it, you can be passionate about trying to find that purpose. You can be passionate about trying to find it. You know? There's nothing wrong with that. Whatever you're doing, go in it full on and try and see if it works. The other thing too is I would try and have principles. Have principles that are more important than your interaction with the woman. So I'll give you a couple of mine. Some of my principles, they're like, I really appreciate honesty. Honesty is something that's really important to me. Like, I get really upset when people are being dishonest, and I try in my life to try and be as honest as I can with people. And I do genuinely care for others, and I'm as kind as possible, but I think a lot of people do a disservice to others when they're saying things just to be nice, just to make them feel better temporarily, but in the long run, they're actually hurting them. In these circumstances, that's why I'm a little bit more brash than people. That's why I'm a little bit more outspoken. That's why I have this fucking channel, which is kind of a weird thing to do. Like, you know, most of my friends don't have this job. Well, some of my friends have similar stuff. But in these circumstances, I'm not afraid to be brash, to be confident, to be out there, to be a guy who takes action, to be those things that women are really attracted to, because I have my higher purpose is truth at this point. Sure, I have pissed a lot of girls off, trust me, by being too truthful and honest. And sometimes with women, you can't be as blunt. Like, you have to say things a little bit differently, because you can definitely offend people, but people, in the end, sometimes I'll say things that a woman, like a person that I'm talking to, a girl especially, she won't like at first. But in the end, she'll respect me for it, and she ends up coming around, and then I end up seeing her, and we end up seeing each other for a little bit. Like, that's happened a lot of times. And it's because I'm on this higher purpose. My principle is number one. And it doesn't matter what's happening in the interaction with the woman. My principle is number one right there. Unless... I mean, there's a couple exceptions to it, but mostly that's what I'm doing. I'll get into the exceptions later. So that's the thing. If you don't have a purpose, focus on principles. Be a principled person. And the other thing too that I'm going to tell you is kind of when I was coming up, I was principled, but I wasn't as principled as I am now. I was still working on it. When I was disillusioned during that 4-year period where I was trying to get good with women, and that's really all I cared about was getting good. But what I started to realize was that I was caring too much about the individual interactions. I really, really wanted a girl to like me because that's like my number one focus. But it was kind of interesting. The better I got, the more I realized that I was focusing on the process more. I began to be more passionate and I had love for improving myself. That became my number one goal. It wasn't about trying to get this girl to like me, trying to get her to text me back, trying to get her to sleep with me. Although that's really what I was doing, but I was more concerned about, am I being more attractive to women? Am I being better with women? Am I being better for myself? And when you start focusing on the bigger picture there, the higher principles, the higher purpose, that's when I started to stop caring as much about these individual interactions. Like if I walked up, talked to a girl, I got a boyfriend, no big deal. Girl doesn't text me back, it's fine. And it also helps when you start getting a little bit of success. Now I have options, now I have girls that do like me, and so it wouldn't make me as mad. But what really helped was my mindset. The mindset changed everything, where it was now I'm focusing on self-improvement in the process. That's what I became passionate about. And I think even if you're as horny of a guy as I am, I need to be getting laid. Even if you're like this, I think focusing on the process, focusing on those things is really, really going to help you out. So even if you're a guy who has no idea what his life's purpose is going to be, you can focus on that. You can focus on improving yourself in the process and getting better with women. And hopefully, if you're a guy who's watching this video, or if you've watched a bunch of my videos, you've heard me talk about this before. You've heard me talk about this, where I think I brought this up in my video, How to Stop Being the Nice Guy. I definitely talked about it there. And if you read the book, The Way of the Superior Man by David Data, he talks a lot about this too. So that's my advice for you guys. It's not an excuse for you to not take action. It's not saying that you should just not care about women and just sit by yourself and never go out. It's not saying any of that. It's saying that you should have some higher purpose or have something more important than getting this individual girl. Okay, I think that's the real important thing here. Where once you stop getting mad about that sort of stuff, then people see that you're a confident person, and they see that, and people will start following you. That's just what happens. It's not just being attractive to women. That's how you become a leader. That's how you become a man who's really embodying what he's out there to do. So that's what I invite you guys to do, man. If you made it to the end, guys, consider subscribing. I come up with videos like this every single week. I read all the comments that are on this channel, and if you guys have a topic that you want me to talk about or something that you'd like me to cover, again, I'm really passionate about making this channel better. So, individual videos, they can go any which way, but I want to take this channel in a direction that I think is going to really help you guys out, and that's what I'm trying to do right now. So if you have anything that I can do to improve it, please let me know. If you're interested in my mentorship program, send me an email, TheSingleGuy2017 @gmail.com. Thanks a lot, you guys. Good luck.